What's up, Wolfpack? I'm the Lone Wolf, and welcome back to Star Trek Resurgence. Now, at the end of the last one, our second character we can play as, Carter Diaz, got hurt by the plasma storm. Now we're about to see just how badly hurt he is. The price of duty.
Millie.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Okay, what's going on with the audio? Again. Okay, I'll be back.
Help me with him.
Okay, I've tried to fix the audio thing and it's still doing it. I don't know why.
This off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter.
I might try and
You
see
don't look so good.
if it'll work. If it'll fix itself at after the
You gotta be more
cutscene.
careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Irma?
Alright, there's gotta be something in settings I can fix. Alright, if I turn... Alright, and then turn it back up.
Docking clamps using hull polarity minimize damage to the
No, I
Resolute.
don't know.
We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
So, we're in trouble now. Obviously. For disobeying orders, right?
You disobeyed my orders. Well,
There we go.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the
you
information I had.
disobeyed my orders!
I can't deal with that. I am gonna have to figure it out. I don't know why it's doing that. Alright, I'm gonna try something else out. I'll be back shortly. Okay, I think I fixed it. What I had to do was completely restart my computer. So yeah, the good old turn on and, well, turn off and on again.
The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Irma?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimize damage to the Resolute.
If this happens
We'll
over
have
and
some
over
last-minute
again, it's going to
repairs
be a really
make, but
painful
if we
game to
reapportion
play.
some of the staff, we can
I
make
mean,
our
to
departure
get
on time.
working properly.
As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear.
Yay!
Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Yeah, we're in big trouble, as we'll soon see. We walk funny. It's a really weird walk.
You disobeyed my orders.
It was the right
Well.
decision.
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the
You
information I had.
disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest,
Why is my hair being so stupid today?
You never
Stuff
really
hang
know
down.
if you weren't in those shoes. So,
Yeah.
let's just boil it down to, you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday.
What is it doing?
Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any
Yeah, it should be
outstanding
fine.
repairs, and we'll set out for Otari.
Yes, sir.
Road trip.
All departments reporting full mission readiness.
Oh, it's cold.
We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Now that would be something to see, sitting out at the windows.
That should do it. Set a course for the Otari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Hi, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me? Engage.
Oh, I love this already. I love it so much.
Simple, but effective.
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine. Really, You don't look
Oh,
so
she
good.
hasn't had her Duridium? She hasn't had it, like, the thingy.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Oh, God.
Commander, help me get her inside!
Ooh.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest.
He looks
You
dead.
should worry about
He's not
yourself.
breathing and his eyes are wide
Your
open.
deuterium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
Rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the Duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
Nah.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
Oh.
People become blinded by their own ambition.
Nah.
I've seen it happen before.
He's definitely
I hear you.
an arrogant
That's my
person,
job, isn't
I'd
it?
say.
To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
There's gotta be a way.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Hang on, what were the doors
Thank you.
doing? Why are there two doors? Two sets of doors on the sick bay.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing.
Can't you just wave a little thing over his face and it'll fix itself
Come by
up?
a couple of times to see you already.
Oh, I think she likes him.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
So, be honest. How bad do I look?
You look rugged.
Rugged?
Okay, how about heroic? Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse,
Don't
leaving
assume.
it unsaid.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
I'm gonna say it.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Sure.
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Whoa.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
The game doesn't like all that. Or the face cam doesn't like it. What?
We can take it.
My face is freezing. No.
The shuttle.
Okay, are we
Commander
good?
Rydeck,
Are we
find us our
broken?
diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain.
Too many
Let's
space
reduce
rocks.
the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
What is that? 223 meters
I've
away.
located the shuttle.
It's not that
Opening
far
comms.
away.
On screen.
Oh, that's bad.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
Put a tractor
Won't get a
beam on it.
transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking
That's
bay.
the only way to go. Hey, it's you.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
That shuttle's from the
Come on,
Excelsior.
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Alright. Oh, big rock.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Use tractor beam to deflect asteroids. I was pulling the wrong stick. Come on, don't let it hit the ship. Don't let it hit the ship because it's gonna hurt really bad. Come on. In we go. What is that? That's a big one. It's very big.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydeck, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Alright, so we're gonna hit it there. Or do that, okay.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17, 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Oh!
Got it.
ship.
Working hard on the bridge.
Just got it fixed. You're already bashing it open with rocks. We did it.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Well, they didn't die, so that's a plus.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Spock?
Ambassador Spock.
What are you doing all the way out here?
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Well, it's not every day you meet Spock.
Apologies for the landing, Ambassador. I was operating the tractor beam, sir. I take responsibility.
Our arrival was the smoothest part of our journey. Your artistry with a tractor beam is commendable.
Why, thank
We thought
you.
we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that?
I think
all indications say that warp speed is possible, but
either it's
in
the
practice,
storm or something on the
we
planet's
find
jamming
it is
your
not.
warp.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
I'm sure he'll never forget that. Having a conversation with Spock himself. That's actually not a bad Spock impression either. Whoever the voice actor is for this Spock. Provocation to war.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
You are a legend, Ambassador. There's not an officer in Starfleet that doesn't know of your career.
I would never assume that to be the case.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from
Even
Starfleet.
the petty officers
Two
know
formerly
of the
peaceful
legendary
neighbors are
Spock.
now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
Whoa, jeez. That was a very loud
Lydia and
hologram.
Hotari. Illydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, The Hotari and the Illidians have shared a mining operation there. The Illidians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illidians from their system.
Something's got to be controlling them,
That is
I reckon.
the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Have the Illidians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illidian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
The Hotari just won their independence. It's hard to believe they would give that up just for profit.
I agree. It would be exceedingly difficult to bring the Hotari to that position.
Neither the Illidians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illidians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Yup.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
So we've already played a part in this.
Unfortunately, that is indeed the case, Commander Rydek.
We're morally obligated to make this right.
Hold on. Our only obligation is to negotiate the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Illidium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Illidians' restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our own. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions.
What does he mean?
Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and
Where'd the subtitles go?
may very well depend on it.
The subtitles just disappeared.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
I don't like
him. It seems
him.
like he's warming up to us.
Yeah.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
There are consoles coming up out of the floors everywhere.
Ready to go?
Why not just have the console sitting there?
Let's run the diagnostic.
Okay. Diagnostics. Diagnostics. Oops. Okay. I'm diagnosing things.
I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Aha. Good thing they're labeled. Ooh.
Here.
Huh.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Let's see. There's a subspace
variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
So something would have had to have happened for it to block the array from seeing space.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
A cascade failure?
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
Ooh.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variants out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Well, what could it be?
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other.
I'll do the
Let's
warp
not
coils.
overcomplicate this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Alright, time to open this baby up. Your tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through it will reveal the unseen. Use X to equip all holster your tricorder, hold RT to scan glowing objects. You must be close to some objects to scan them. Watch the frame of the screen to see if you are too far away. Ooh. Hang on, I want that. Ooh, I can scan you. Alright, alright, so... Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. During a deep scan, use left bumper and right bumper to switch between different scan modes and search for glowing objects. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink if there is an object to find in that mode. When you have scanned all objects, the frame will change color. Hold LT to analyze the data and finish the scan. Alright, no deviations in that one. The center coils guide the warp field through its focal vent. No fractures. There's evidence. There's micro abrasions. Alright.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it.
Huh?
So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Hey.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
Well, we can't let the brass catch us slacking on the job. Just play along. This is a Mark IV outboard diagnostic panel used for troubleshooting shuttles and other medium-sized transport vehicles. Some people prefer the Mark V because it's one better, but the Mark IV is still one better than the Mark III.
That all sounds very technical.
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part.
Wow, so he's a really old dude.
You don't want to miss
I guess you
your train.
gotta like something about the past. I mean, if all you do is have warp drives, you probably would like the old-fashioned steam engine.
Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now. More important things on my mind.
It always looks so awkward in games when they do that.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You got a
Unless
deal.
the shuttle explodes and she dies.
Be seeing you.
Lara Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Yeah, but what if it's not? What if there's
Running
something else?
now.
You know, could be anything.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
In warp field calculation, Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Oh.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Great. Can't you just go at impulse? It's a mean-looking ship, that one. Okay. Alright, so we're starting a new episode. So what I want to do is stop it right here. I don't want to go any further because I don't want it to hit an hour. Not like last time. Last time was good because it was the first part of the series. But if it happens all the time, it's going to be so long each episode. So this one's getting more interesting. We are finding out things wrong with the ship. We're not going to be able to leave. I still reckon that this this plasma storm or whatever it was, is something that is made by the Hotari somehow. Or whatever it is, it can't be a natural occurrence. Nothing can stop a ship warping out, not normally. So that'll be interesting to see how they get around that one. What's gonna happen to Commander Rydek if she doesn't get that Duridium stuff? Obviously she's gonna die, but why and how and all of that. Wait, what? He's questioning his choice as first officer? He's probably a bad captain. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to become part of the Wolfpack. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. My voice is starting to die on me. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.